welcome back to The Buzz. I'm Felicia Michelle. I am so beyond excited to be sitting here with music artist, songwriter, dancer, YouTuber, everything, multi-talented woman, Nezza. Nezza, welcome.
Thank you.
I'm so happy to have you here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Listen, Nezza, what don't you do
I get
creatively?
That question a lot.
What don't
I get that question a lot. I've always been a multitasker since I was a little kid too. Like my parents were always like, don't take on that activity, don't do that extracurricular. Like I was just always the girl juggling a million things, and still to this day.
I mean, speaking of your parents too, they're dancers, and originally you started off dancing, so I guess performance and all that has always just been in your blood. Do you remember the first time that you were on stage performing?
Yes. My mom threw me into classes when I was 5, and so like the studio, we had our first recital. I was 5. We did, my outfit was like, I have pictures of it, but it was like this red sequined feathered little thing. It was a tap number. It was called Happy Hands.
Oh.
And that was the first time that I ever performed on a stage.
Like, so when you perform and you get out there, do you ever get nervous before you head out?
You know what? I used to, but I think being an industry dancer out here for so many years, I just got used to it. It's like second nature. So I'm never nervous. If anything, I'm just like now like anxious to be on a stage. Like I miss it so much, obviously because of the pandemic and everything. I haven't been on one in a minute.
But you'll be on one soon though.
Yeah, El Rey Theater. I'm so excited. It's my first like real show, like real debut, you know what I mean? I'm performing some unreleased stuff too from an upcoming EP that's dropping in a couple weeks. So yeah, I'm super excited.
But definitely performing Sola, your latest single.
I'm for sure performing Sola.
I have to commend you because you have to keep in mind you're a new artist and you're doing this during a pandemic where there's a lot of protocol and limited amount of people, and you guys pulled it off so effortlessly. Like, what was the inspiration like behind the video?
So for Sola, for me, Sola came about during a phase in a, I guess, breakup. It was a situationship, right? So is it a breakup? I don't know.
It feels like one.
It definitely felt like one. So Sola came out about that, but it was during the phase where I was like totally okay. I was like, he doesn't deserve me, and I'm fine. Like I was enjoying being alone, sola. And so I wanted the video to kind of dive into, so the beginning, you dive into like my heart where I'm like having fun, I'm having, this great time. So I don't have a broken heart anymore, right? And then you dive into like my thoughts where it's just like paradise. I'm in my bedroom, just having fun. And so I just wanted to like portray that like I was really okay being without him. And we had so much fun doing it. It was like the team that I always bring in. We were in this little tiny room. There was no AC. But yeah.
What is it? You have to pay for fame and sweat.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
there
yeah,
you go.
exactly.
Sweat
exactly.
equity.
Yeah.
But the looks were killer. And
Thank you.
Speaking of looks, you just came back from New York Fashion Week. How was that?
I did, my first fashion week. To be honest, I was not mentally prepared, but can't wait for next year. But next year for sure, I have to like have an assistant at least like with me. I don't know how people do more than what I did because my schedule wasn't like as hectic as like the celebrities, right?
Yeah.
And also it landed the same week as VMAs and Met. So like
it was
New York
a lot
was
going.
a
It
lot.
was booming, and there were many looks in the stacks. I love your look today.
Thank
actually.
you. It was something I just threw together honestly this morning,
Do you like to pick out your own clothes? So like style is like I can tell it's something that you enjoy.
Yeah, I love it. At one point I thought I was gonna be a stylist if music didn't work out. But I actually just hired in a stylist, but we work really hand in hand. But yeah, I love it.
I always say God like gives you what you need. Like
Yeah.
you already had the talent to like, to sing and to write and to be creative in that way. But he's like, let me just go on and throw some style in there. Because, you're going to need to be able to do this for what you got to do.
Yeah.
So speaking of being in New York, you're an ambassador for Coach. Like that's crazy because I think it's like Megan Thee Stallion, Partisan Fontaine, Michael B. Jordan, Karrueche. Like there is a list of this. How does that feel like as like a newcomer to like the industry to be like, I'm a part of this iconic brand with, you got good company, girl. You're in good company.
Yeah, I actually met Karrueche because she's like our newest Coach sister. So I got to meet her during Fashion Week and she was so sweet, so welcoming. And honestly, it means the world because, like, obviously I'm not to that caliber, you know, yet of like, yet
speaking into existence.
Speaking it into existence, you know, of the Meg Stallions and all of those people. So I tell them every day, like, I finally got to meet them in person, and I was like, this means the world. Thank you so much. Like, you know, I'm just like starting out, and the fact that you guys are just like involved in my life in any way means everything to me. So yeah, I was on cloud 9 that week. Like I was like at the coach show.
How could you not be like?
I was at the coach show, and Shaka Khan was like maybe like 3 feet away.
I'd be like, Shaka Khan, Shaka Khan. How did you not?
I couldn't hide it in my face to the point because she got walked in during the show, and everyone was like, oh, that's Shaka Khan. Like even the person next to me.
Does she have like an aura around her? Is there an energy? Is it a gust of like wind that hits you when she goes by?
Yes, and it was funny because the head of talent of Coach after the show was like, I saw it in your face when she walked in and you couldn't hide it. I was like, no. I was like, when am I ever gonna be 3 feet away from Shaka Khan? So, yeah, it was great. I mean, the show was incredible. The Coach family, they're just all incredible, and I love what they're doing. I love this whole rebranding that they're doing. So yeah.
So one thing about the iconic Shaka Khan is that she has this like energy around her and like this level of confidence. For you, like how do you find like and keep your self-confidence in this industry? I mean, let's be quite honest, social media, all those things like kind of can make just anybody feel bad about just who they are, how God made them, and you know, so how do you, who is on a platform, I mean, people love you, but I'm sure you got a couple of trolls, so how do you deal?
Yes, no, I had my fair share of the trolls, especially last year.
How do you deal with that criticism?
Yeah, you know what? I think I grew up with parents that were always hyping me up, right? And they were like my #1 fans. They were always telling me how great I was and how, you know, how successful I was gonna be. And I think that really did help. And I think also surrounding myself with friends that are constantly hyping me up, because you are the company that you keep. And if they're confident and they're hyping you up, then like it kind of helps you out too. I mean, I do struggle with it. I'm not gonna lie and say that I don't have my days where I'm super insecure. You know, I feel like everyone has that. But I think having good friends is really important. And self-love doesn't come overnight.
It sure doesn't. It's a journey.
It is a journey. But there's steps that you can take, baby steps. But for me, honestly, my friends have been a big part in that.
I always like you kind of have to, you take turns. Like no one is always aspirational. Some people are always in need of that inspirational person. Sometimes you can be that aspirational person for somebody, and you know, you gotta even it out and take turns. That makes sense. So I know we talked about trolls a little bit. What about your fans? You have an overwhelming number of people following you on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube because you do create YouTube content. What's your relationship like and interacting with them?
Oh, we're friends. Yeah, we're best friends. My fandom, I tell them every day, like, I have the best fans in the world. Like, you have no idea until you like are on Twitter and like see how active they are. They back me up with everything that I do, always rocking with me. And I think because I put so much of my life on YouTube, they feel like we're close. Like, we are friends. And I do talk to them, like, because sometimes I even stream on Twitch.
Yeah.
And, you know, we're talking through the chat, and it just feels like a family. And yeah, they're great.
I mean, how could you, like, I mean, you want to receive that love, and I know on like probably hard days, it probably feels really good.
Oh, absolutely. And they know, and like sometimes I'll be like, hey guys, I'm not feeling the best today. Like, I'll see you guys in a couple days or something like that. And I'll get like a flood of messages, DMs, and like, yeah, they're wonderful. They're great.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So, what would be Nezza's dream, all time dream collaboration, an artist that you would love to collaborate? And it could be any genre.
Okay. I would love to collab with Bruno Mars. I'm a huge Bruno fan. Even my dad is. Like, that was like something that was always playing in the house, believe it or not. We were a big Jackson family. Janet Jackson was my first concert ever. But yeah, but as far as collabs, Bruno Mars, I would love to do a song with Doja. I would love my first collab, my big collab, to be a female. So I would love either Doja, and then on the Latin side, I love Paloma Mami, I love Rosalia, J Balvin, Bad Bunny. But yeah, Those are like my dream ones right now.
Let me ask you, because in watching and listening to your music, do you feel like you're doing something different? Because in music, a lot of times we just see, okay, this is your genre and this is your lane, and you just stay in that, and that's it. Especially with you being bilingual, like, you know, people are like, oh, well, no, you only can do like, you know, Spanish music, or you can be like mainstream like America, or, but you are like, nah, I'm gonna do my own thing.
Yeah, exactly. We're trying to. I'm trying to just be real to myself and what comes naturally. What comes naturally for me is also singing in Spanish. My first language was Spanish, so, and I grew up with all that music in the house, so like for me, it's not forced, you know, because I feel like some artists like think like, oh, you're just putting out Spanish music because it's the fad now to put out Latin music, but no, like I've always been doing it.
It's like, that's not like you're not doing something that's not who you are. Like, this is who I am.
Exactly. I actually was at this Becky G event like 2 weeks ago, and she spoke on like that, and I really related to her because she was like, I mean, she said all this in Spanish, but she was like, I appreciate everyone letting me just be me, because in the beginning I wasn't really accepted. She was like, I was too American for the Latin people, and I was too Latin for the Americans, and I feel like now you know, I'm gonna try and kind of just like do both naturally. Spanglish is what I like doing, and because it's how I naturally talk too. So yeah, I'm just gonna do me.
It can be done. It can definitely be done. Looking like Selena, like, is literally the epitome of being able to cross over and even when you don't understand the language, you can feel what she's singing, and I feel that when I hear you, because I didn't know what Sola meant, girl. I had to Google it because English is my first and only language. So I went to good old Google and checked it out, and I was like, oh, this is dope. But she's saying something, even I don't know exactly what she's saying. It's definitely being conveyed.
Yeah, I mean, look at Balvin. Like, Mi Gente was on the radio on English radio for so long, and so I feel like we're finally getting this wave of like that crossover. So I'm excited to be in this wave. I'm excited to like join in and
create your own
create my own lane. You know what I mean?
So in creating your own lane, what's next? What's next for Nezza?
So the EP drops in a couple weeks. We haven't finalized the dates. We had to push it, but it's called Club Solita. Kind of goes on theme with Sola. And after that, we'll see. I might or may not have an English project on the way, like fully English. And I hope to tour next year and, you know, give people a show that they're not going to forget, because even though I'm not dancing industry-wise anymore, I'm still gonna bring that to the stage. Dancers, that's like, I wanna bring that big performance back. You know, that J-Lo, that Janet,
that moving, that energy level that you're like, I'm watching her, but I feel like my spirit is moving with her spirit.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know those concerts where you're leaving, like, you're just like mind blown at what you just saw, or those VMA performances that you can literally replay in your head.
That we're still watching like generations later.
Generations later, that's what I want to do. So we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it.
That is amazing. I believe that you're gonna do it too, but I want to know something. Again, you know, you told me that you have your hard days like every other person.
Oh, yeah.
But how do you stay motivated? Like when you're like, okay, I don't want to do anything right now. I don't feel like getting up out of this bed and creating content, or maybe even writing. I don't feel like doing that right now. Like, how do you get yourself up? I call it your why, like your why you do the thing that you do. What's your why?
My why is, honestly, my family plays a big part in it. Like, I wanna be able to financially support my family completely. And for me, music is gonna be that outlet to do that. I also meditate a lot. It was something that my dad taught me at a young age. Fun fact, my first science project, I meditated with plants to see if they would grow bigger.
Did they
Absolutely,
grow?
Yeah. I won the blue ribbon. Kids thought I was a freak for a little bit because of it.
They didn't know you were on the plant parent trend before everyone else. You're a trailblazer.
Yeah. Yeah, so I meditate a lot. Meditating helps me a lot. I write down my aspirations a lot. But yeah, my family keeps me motivated. My dad calls me every day to tell me how proud he is. Yeah.
That's amazing. When the people that you love and your people you're doing it for are like, I'm already proud of you before anything even happened.
I know. Yeah. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see where this leads. But yeah, my parents are my number one fans, and they're the ones that are always like, keep going, like you're almost there. Because I feel like I've been doing this for a minute, but I feel like my foot's finally like, my toe is like peaking.
You're like,
almost,
I've walked along the sand and I'm almost by the shoreline. I can
Yes.
feel the ocean breeze, but
Absolutely.
I just haven't hit the water just yet.
Absolutely.
It's crazy. Remember, like Kevin Hart was saying, like it took me X amount of years to become an overnight success. People
Yeah.
never see all the work that necessarily goes behind someone
Yeah.
as they're coming up. But you seem like a really, really hardworking person.
Yeah, I'm the workaholic of the friend group for sure. They always are like, it's funny, every time someone like says something about me in the friend group, it always has to do something with, she's the hardest worker in this friend group, or she works like that's what I'm known for. Always doing a million things, yeah.
You got what you need, girl. You have faith and you have the work. So
Yeah.
faith without works is dead. And so you're doing the work and you
Yeah.
have the faith to believe in
Exactly.
yourself. So tell everybody where they can find you and what's next and what's
Yeah.
going on.
You can find me on Instagram at Baby Nezza, on YouTube, youtube.com/Nezza. And yeah, can't wait for you guys to hear the EP. Coming soon, couple weeks. And yeah.
Thank you so much, Nezza, for joining us
course.
on The Buzz. I'm Felicia Michelle, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Sola me quedo conmigo y no me importa, no.
Hi, my name is Nezza, and you've just been buzzed.